Jennifer Snasty. You're watching News 24 Live. It's Wine Wednesday, and I'm very excited because today we're trying a Sauvignon Blanc from Almankirk. Joining me in studio, as always, is Food 24's wine expert, Kathy Marston. She's going to talk us through this very fruity wine.
It is. Hi. I like this wine very much indeed. It's one of my favourite estates in Elgin. Beautiful, cool climate area and really very good for Sauvignon Blanc. So should we pour it and I'll tell you a little bit more while we're doing it?
Tell us about it. Now this is a Belgian-owned farm.
That's right. There's a lot of Belgians in Elgin actually. There's another farm owned by a Belgian guy who makes some very, very lovely pinotage. But these two, Joris and Natalie. Joris is the winemaker, and Natalie.
They have very cute dogs.
They do.
I must mention that.
Cute, yes, and they're wonderful. They take so much time over their wines, and Natalie's a fantastic ambassador, and she sells it very, very beautifully. But they're very beautiful wines, so you know they're quite easy to sell, really, in a way. So this Sauvignon Blanc comes from a single vineyard, and what they've done to this one, because Sauvignons, particularly from a cool climate, sometimes people worry about them being maybe a little bit thin. Not in this case, because what they've done is they've actually left it on the dead yeast cells. So you know when the yeast sort of eats up the sugar and turns it all into alcohol and everything, and then the dead yeast cells sort of fall to the bottom of the tank. Well, they've left the wine in contact with that, and what it gives it is a little bit more richness and body and oomph, and makes it a much better food wine. So that's the theory. Should we see if I'm right or I'm just talking rubbish? Okay. Oh, it's a lovely nose, eh? It's all like green peas and
minerally.
Very much, yeah. I never really quite understand minerality, I have to say. I don't lick a lot of stones, so I struggle a bit on the mineral thing.
I licked a stone once.
Did you?
For the sake of wine, but that's a story for another day.
Okay, right, we'll move on from that one. I think it's all lots of lovely peas and asparagus and things. And there we go. So, lovely acidity, but you can feel there's a little bit of mouthfeel in there, a little bit of richness, a little bit more body, and that's going to make it a fantastic one to go with food, I would have thought. So, yeah, I always liked this estate very much. I once did a tasting, and Joris came, and he stole my corkscrew.
Joris?
I know, I'm sure it wasn't deliberate actually, but I've made him pay ever since, because every corkscrew I actually have is an Almankirk corkscrew. So I'm now a walking advert for these guys simply because they keep me supplied in corkscrews. And every time I go through the airports and I get them confiscated and I run out and then I'm just writing them, they send me more.
Oh, well, there you go.
So there we are.
That's a good little relationship you have with them. We've paired this wine with Food 24's pea and the goat's cheese risotto. Now tell us about how those flavors are going to work together.
Well, goat's cheese and Sauvignon Blanc is a classic match. If you go to the Loire Valley, that's what you're going to find put together more often than not. But I thought with a risotto, because you've got a little bit of extra creaminess and a little bit more depth and the flavour, and there's going to be some parmesan and things on there. And this wine can handle it. It can handle it really nicely. Those vegetable notes are going to get picked up, and it's just going to be a really satisfying match. So I'm quite excited about that.
Well, there you have it. We're having Sauvignon Blanc this Wine Wednesday. Let us know what you'll be drinking in the comments section below this video.